Have you ever wondered why so many children across Japan, South Korea, Singapore, and other East Asian societies seem to develop incredible focus, strong study habits, and an almost natural ability to learn efficiently? The surprising truth is that it isn't because they're born smarter. It isn't because they spend every waking moment buried in textbooks either. Hidden behind the success of many East Asian students is a powerful learning philosophy that most people outside the region rarely notice. It's a simple habit that quietly trains the brain to absorb information faster, remember it longer, and stay focused even when distractions are everywhere. And once you understand how it works, you might start seeing learning in a completely different way. In many Western countries, studying is often viewed as an activity that begins only when a test approaches. Kids attend school, complete homework, and then shift their attention to entertainment. But throughout much of East Asia, learning is often treated as a daily lifestyle rather than an occasional event. The goal isn't to cram information into the brain at the last minute. Instead, children are encouraged to build a steady relationship with learning itself. This mindset creates something incredibly powerful. Rather than relying on motivation, which comes and goes, students rely on routine. And as strange as it sounds, routine is often stronger than motivation. Motivation disappears when people feel tired. Habits keep working even when people don't feel like doing something. One of the most important educational principles found throughout East Asia is the idea of consistency over intensity. Japanese educators often emphasize small daily improvements instead of dramatic bursts of effort. This philosophy connects closely with the concept of kaizen, which means continuous improvement. Instead of studying for 5 exhausting hours before an exam, students learn to spend shorter periods reviewing material every single day. At first, this may seem less impressive, but over time, those small sessions compound into something extraordinary. It's similar to planting a seed and watering it every day, rather than flooding it with water once a month. The steady approach produces stronger roots. What makes this habit so effective is how the human brain actually works. Neuroscience shows that information is retained better when learning is spread across multiple sessions instead of packed into one intense study marathon. East Asian educational cultures have embraced this principle for decades, often without explicitly talking about the science behind it. Students repeatedly review material, revisit concepts, and strengthen memory pathways through repetition. Every review session acts like another layer of reinforcement. Eventually, knowledge becomes part of long-term memory rather than something temporarily stored for a test. Japanese children often learn this lesson long before they fully understand academics. From an early age, many are encouraged to develop self-management skills. They organize school materials, prepare for the next day, and take responsibility for simple routines. This approach reflects the concept of shitsuke, a form of discipline that focuses on building habits and character rather than enforcing obedience through punishment. The goal is not to control children. The goal is to help them become capable of controlling themselves. That's a huge difference. When children learn self-discipline early, studying becomes less of a battle and more of a natural extension of their daily routine. Another fascinating aspect of East Asian learning culture is the emphasis on concentration. In today's world, attention has become one of the most valuable resources on earth. Notifications, social media feeds, and endless entertainment compete for every second of our focus. Yet many East Asian educational environments place a strong emphasis on sustained attention. Children are taught to fully engage with one task at a time. This doesn't mean they never get distracted. It means they're continuously encouraged to return their focus to the task in front of them. Over time, this repeated practice strengthens what psychologists call attentional control, making learning significantly easier. There is also a cultural value that plays an important role in educational success. In Japan, the concept of omoiyari encourages awareness and consideration of others. At first glance, this may seem unrelated to studying, but it actually shapes classroom behaviour in powerful ways. Students learn to respect shared learning environments, avoid disrupting others, and contribute positively to group activities. When entire classrooms operate with this mindset, learning becomes smoother for everyone. Less chaos means more focus. More focus means better retention. Perhaps one of the biggest misconceptions about East Asian education is the belief that success comes purely from pressure. While academic expectations can certainly be high in some places, many successful learning habits come from structure rather than stress. Structure creates predictability. Predictability reduces mental friction. When children know exactly when they will study, where they will study, and what they will study, they waste less energy making decisions. Their brains can focus on learning instead of constantly figuring out what to do next. This is a hidden superpower that many high-performing students develop over time. Japanese households often demonstrate what some people call Tokyo-style efficiency. Space is limited, schedules can be busy, and daily life requires organization. As a result, children frequently grow up surrounded by systems that prioritize order and intentionality. School bags are prepared the night before, study materials have designated places, tasks are completed in logical sequences. These small practices may seem insignificant, but together they create an environment where learning feels easier. When the environment supports good habits, willpower becomes less important. Another educational technique common across East Asian cultures involves active review rather than passive reading. Instead of simply looking at information over and over again, students are encouraged to recall information from memory. This process strengthens neural connections and reveals gaps in understanding. It's one thing to recognize an answer when you see it. It's another thing entirely to produce that answer from memory. The second method requires more effort, but it also creates stronger learning. That's why students who actively test themselves often remember information far longer than students who simply reread notes. What's especially interesting is that these habits aren't limited to academic achievement. The same principles help children develop confidence, resilience, and independence. When a child experiences the satisfaction of consistent improvement, they begin to trust their own ability to grow. They stop viewing intelligence as something fixed. Instead, they see progress as the result of effort and practice. This mindset encourages persistence when challenges appear. Rather than thinking, "I'm not smart enough," they begin thinking, "I just need more practice." Many East Asian educational philosophies also connect learning with purpose.